It was an ordinary evening at the bustling Los Angeles International Airport. Travelers hurried past one another, their faces a mix of excitement and exhaustion. Among the crowd was Elon Musk, casually dressed in a hoodie and jeans, barely distinguishable from the other passengers. Despite his unassuming appearance, whispers of recognition rippled through the terminal. Elon had booked a rare commercial flight to San Francisco for a low-profile meeting. His assistant had secured him a first-class seat to ensure he could work undisturbed during the short journey. As he approached the gate, he overheard a soft conversation nearby. A frail-looking elderly man stood by the counter, clutching a worn-out duffel bag. His posture was stooped, and his face bore the lines of decades of sacrifice. He was a war veteran, evident from the pins on his jacket and the patches on his bag. The airline attendant at the counter wore an apologetic expression as she explained, "I'm so sorry, sir, but we've overbooked the flight. There are no available seats left in economy class." The veteran nodded slowly, his shoulders sagging. "It's all right, miss," he said in a voice thick with fatigue. "I've missed flights before." He turned to walk away, his gait unsteady, as if years of service and struggle had taken their toll. Elon watched the exchange, something stirring within him. He didn't hesitate. Stepping forward, he approached the man and gently tapped him on the shoulder. "Excuse me, sir," he said with a warm smile. "You can take my seat. I'll sort something out." The veteran looked at him, surprised. "Oh no, young man. I couldn't take your seat. You must have paid a fortune for it." But Elon insisted. "You've paid more than anyone could ever repay," he said softly. "Please take it. It's the least I can do." The exchange caught the attention of other passengers, who began murmuring among themselves. A few pulled out their phones, capturing the moment. The veteran finally relented, shaking Elon's hand firmly. "Thank you, son. You didn't have to do this, but I'll never forget it." Elon watched as the airline attendant escorted the veteran to the first-class cabin, ensuring he was settled comfortably. He returned to the counter and asked if there were any other flights he could take. The attendant apologized, explaining that the next available seat wouldn't be for several hours. Elon shrugged it off, saying, "It's no problem. I'll just grab a coffee and wait." What Elon didn't know was that his simple act of kindness would set off a chain of events that no one could have predicted. As Elon Musk sat in the airport lounge, sipping his coffee and answering emails, the scene from the gate spread like wildfire across social media. A passenger who had witnessed the exchange had uploaded a short video with the caption, "Elon Musk gives up his first-class seat for a veteran. This is what real kindness looks like." Within minutes, the video went viral. Comments flooded in, praising Elon's humility and respect for the veteran. "This is why I admire Elon, a billionaire who hasn't forgotten basic human decency. He didn't have to do it, but he did. That's leadership. More people should follow his example. Respect for our veterans is non-negotiable." Major news outlets picked up the story, and hashtags like "Shosh Elon Musk kindness" and "Respect for veterans" began trending on Twitter. People everywhere were moved by the gesture, discussing how small acts of kindness could make a big difference. Meanwhile, on board the plane, the veteran sat in awe of his surroundings. It had been decades since he had experienced such luxury. Flight attendants treated him with the utmost care, offering him refreshments and ensuring he was comfortable. Seated next to him was a business executive who couldn't resist striking up a conversation. "I couldn't help but notice the commotion back at the gate," the executive said. "What's your story, sir?" The veteran hesitated at first, but eventually shared snippets of his life. He spoke of his time in the military, the struggles he faced after returning home, and how he had been traveling to San Francisco to attend a veterans reunion, a rare chance to reconnect with old comrades. The executive listened intently, his admiration growing with each word. "You've given so much for this country," he said. "It's an honor to meet you." The two continued talking throughout the flight, and by the time they landed, the executive had made a decision. He handed the veteran his business card and said, "When you're done with your reunion, give me a call. I think there's a way we can work together. Your story needs to be heard, and I'd like to help make that happen." Little did anyone know this meeting was just the beginning of a series of events that would not only change the veteran's life, but also bring unexpected surprises for Elon Musk. By the time the plane landed in San Francisco, The story of Elon Musk's gesture had reached every corner of the internet. News reporters were already waiting at the airport to catch a glimpse of the veteran and possibly get a comment from Elon himself. But Elon, preferring to stay out of the limelight, had quietly exited the lounge and boarded the next flight, determined to avoid making the moment about him. The veteran, however, was overwhelmed by the attention. As he exited the first-class cabin, he was greeted with cheers and applause from the other passengers. Reporters crowded around him, eager to know how he felt about Elon's gesture. The elderly man, still visibly moved, simply said, "I'm just an old soldier. What Mr. Musk did today wasn't just kindness, it was respect. It reminded me that my sacrifices mattered." The next day, the story continued to gain momentum. But what truly captured the world's attention was the video the veteran posted on social media. In a heartfelt message, he shared his life story, the battles he fought, the friends he lost, and the struggles he faced as a veteran trying to reintegrate into society. The post resonated deeply with millions of people. Celebrities, politicians, and veterans organizations began amplifying his message, and donations poured into causes supporting veterans. But the real twist came when the business executive who had sat next to the veteran on the flight made a stunning announcement. At a press conference, the executive revealed his plans to collaborate with the veteran on a new initiative, a program designed to provide housing, employment, and mental health support for struggling veterans across the country. The initiative, aptly named the Musk Effect in honor of Elon's simple act of generosity, aimed to change the lives of thousands of veterans. "We've forgotten what it means to truly honor those who serve," the executive said. "This initiative is about more than just helping veterans. It's about restoring their dignity and reminding them that their sacrifices are not forgotten." Elon, hearing about the initiative, was surprised but deeply moved. In his characteristic low-key manner, he made a private donation to the program, ensuring it had the resources to reach as many veterans as possible. But the surprises didn't end there. One morning, as Elon was preparing for a meeting, he received a letter from the veteran. Inside was a simple message. "Dear Mr. Musk, you didn't just give up your seat. You gave me my purpose back. Thank you for reminding me and the world that one small act of kindness can change everything. With gratitude, James Sullivan." Unbeknownst to Elon, the veteran's story and the subsequent initiative would inspire countless other acts of kindness across the globe, proving that even the smallest gestures could ignite monumental change. And as Elon reflected on the chain of events that had unfolded, he realized that sometimes the most meaningful contributions didn't come from innovations or grand projects. They came from the simple act of putting others first. The story of Elon Musk's selfless act and the veteran's journey continued to ripple across the globe. Social media was flooded with stories of people inspired to perform their own acts of kindness. From offering meals to the homeless to supporting veterans' charities, the number Musk effect became a movement, proving that one small act could inspire millions. News outlets aired interviews with veterans who shared their struggles and triumphs, shining a much-needed spotlight on the issues they faced, such as homelessness, unemployment, and PTSD. Donations to veteran organizations surged, and political leaders began discussing reforms to improve the support system for veterans. The initiative, launched by the business executive in collaboration with the veteran, began gaining traction at an unprecedented pace. Companies lined up to sponsor the program, offering jobs, training, and resources to veterans in need. The initiative's first major milestone was opening a sprawling facility in California, complete with housing, counseling services, and a state-of-the-art job training center. But the most unexpected twist came during a televised interview with the veteran James Sullivan. When asked how it felt to have his story touch so many lives, James choked up, tears welling in his eyes. "I never thought a simple plane ticket would lead to this," he said. "Mr. Musk didn't just give up his seat. He gave me hope. And now I want to spend the rest of my life giving that hope to others." Elon, watching the interview from his office, felt a rare pang of emotion. Despite his fame and success, he had always been a private person, uncomfortable with public adoration. But seeing the veteran's genuine gratitude and the immense impact of the initiative made him realize that sometimes even small, spontaneous acts could have profound consequences. The story reached the ears of world leaders, sparking discussions about how nations could better honor and support their veterans. It wasn't long before international collaborations began, with countries sharing resources and strategies to provide better care for their servicemen and women. Elon, though humbled by the movement, continued to keep a low profile. When asked about the incident during a rare interview, he simply said, "I saw someone who deserved more than what he was being given. It wasn't about being generous. It was about doing what felt right." Yet for the millions of people who had followed the story, his simple gesture symbolized something far greater: the power of empathy in a world often driven by self-interest. And unbeknownst to Elon, the impact of that moment was far from over. A surprising turn of events was still on the horizon. Months later, Elon Musk was attending a private launch event for one of SpaceX's groundbreaking missions. The atmosphere was electric, with scientists, engineers, and high-profile guests buzzing about the mission's significance. Among the crowd, Elon moved quietly, exchanging polite smiles and brief conversations. As the evening progressed, the event organizer approached him. "Mr. Musk," she said with a grin, "there's someone here who insisted on speaking with you. I think you'll want to meet him." Elon followed her to a small reserved area. Standing there was none other than James Sullivan, the veteran he had given up his seat for. This time, James looked different. He stood taller, his posture more confident, and his face glowed with a newfound purpose. "Mr. Musk," James said, extending his hand, "it's good to see you again." Elon shook his hand warmly. "James, it's great to see you. You're looking well." James smiled. "That's thanks to you," he said. "I came here tonight to say something I couldn't properly express before. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart. What you did for me that day wasn't just about the seat. It changed my life, and now I want to return the favor." Elon looked intrigued but slightly puzzled. "Return the favor?" James nodded and handed Elon a folder. "I've been working with the initiative we started after the flight. With the support we've received, we've developed a program that could benefit SpaceX and Tesla employees who are veterans. It's a way to bridge their skills into roles in engineering, logistics, and even space exploration." Elon opened the folder, scanning the detailed proposal. It was clear that James had poured his heart into it. The program not only provided training, but also mentorship and psychological support, ensuring that veterans could transition into highly specialized fields. "I don't know what to say," Elon admitted, genuinely moved. "You don't have to say anything," James replied. "You gave me a chance when I needed it most. Now I want to pay it forward by helping others like me contribute to the incredible work you're doing." Elon smiled, a rare, genuine expression that broke through his usually composed demeanor. "Let's make it happen," he said. "Together." The partnership was announced soon after, garnering widespread acclaim. Veterans across the country found new opportunities within SpaceX and Tesla, working on projects that range from electric vehicles to space exploration. The program became a model for other corporations, further solidifying the legacy of that single act of kindness at the airport. But for Elon and James, the most rewarding part wasn't the accolades or the headlines. It was the knowledge that their actions had created a ripple effect, changing countless lives for the better. And as James often said, it all started with a simple seat, a moment of kindness that proved the smallest gestures can have the greatest impact. Years later, the story of Elon Musk and James Sullivan became more than just a viral moment. It transformed into a symbol of hope and humanity. Documentaries were made, books were written, and schools even taught the story as a lesson in empathy and the power of a single act of kindness. The veteran training program, now known globally as the Sullivan Initiative, expanded beyond SpaceX and Tesla. It became a benchmark for companies worldwide, integrating veterans into industries ranging from technology to healthcare. Thousands of veterans who once struggled to find their footing now thrived in careers that matched their unique skills and experiences. James became a sought-after speaker, sharing his journey from despair to purpose. In every speech, he credited Elon Musk not just for the seat, but for seeing him as a person deserving of dignity and respect. Elon, true to his nature, continued to downplay his role. When asked about the impact of that moment, he would simply say, "It was never about me. It was about doing what was right and giving someone the chance they deserved." The real hero here is James and the work he's done. The most touching moment came years later at a gala celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Sullivan Initiative. Elon was invited as a guest of honor, and during the event, James took the stage to deliver a heartfelt speech. "There are moments in life that define us," James said, his voice trembling with emotion. "For me, it was that day at the airport. A man who didn't owe me anything, gave up something valuable without a second thought. That single act reminded me of my worth and gave me the courage to rebuild my life. Today I stand here not just as a veteran, but as a man with purpose. And for that, I will forever be grateful." As the audience erupted in applause, Elon, seated in the front row, nodded humbly. Though he wasn't one for grand gestures or public displays, even he couldn't deny the lump in his throat. The night ended with a touching video montage showing the thousands of veterans whose lives had been changed by the initiative. Their faces, their stories, and their gratitude were a testament to the ripple effect of that one moment of kindness. As Elon left the event, James walked with him. "You know," James said with a chuckle, "you've built rockets, changed the way we drive, and even dreamt of colon.